morning, good morning, good morning, all my good people. How y'all feeling out there this morning? Good morning. Good morning. Man, happy Monday. Good morning. Good morning. How y'all doing out there? Let me know how y'all feeling. How y'all feeling? Monday morning. Monday morning. How y'all feeling? Let me know. Morbid Drifter. Good morning. Antonio, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to let everybody tap on in. Jedwar, yo. What's good? Good morning, sis. Good morning. What you say, Antonio? The horn wakes you up every time. I'm going to hit you again then. Yeah, I like the horn in the morning, man. Feels like I'm how would I say feels like I don't know, feels like I'm like in a barracks or something. I ain't never been in the military, but feel like I'm in a barracks or something. Like, get up, let's get rocking. We're going this 4 mile run. Greg, good morning. Elevated veggies in the building. Good morning. Good morning. Let me see if I say this right. Hope it's Lise. I hope it's Lise. Lise Mellon. Lise, good morning. Chris, good morning. Happy Monday to y'all. Happy Monday. Get this mic up a little bit. Happy Monday to y'all. There we go. How's everybody feeling, man? How y'all feeling? Fresh off the weekend. Man. Oh, Liz, got you. Thanks for correcting me. I just saw the Lyse, so I was like, is it Lise? But gotcha, Liz. Awesome. Thanks for popping in, Liz. Good morning to you. Because I always want to make sure I pronounce folks' name right. I don't know. You know what? I'm big on that. I don't like pronouncing people's name wrong. I'm always like, it's funny. I've always been like that. Um, Good morning. Good morning. Asia, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are y'all feeling this morning? Let me know. I always ask that every morning. How are y'all feeling? How are y'all feeling? Fresh off the weekend, how y'all feeling? Y'all feeling good? Didn't get enough sleep, got enough sleep, well rested. How y'all feeling? Let me know. She said, I know. Contracts roll over. It confused you? Yeah. It can be a little confusing. It's something new. Morbid Drifter. I remember when I first started trading and I was like, contract rollover, what's that? But yeah. No big deal. Most of the time, all the charts do it for you, so it's good. Logan, good morning. It's going good, man. It's going good. Cosde Gregory, what's up, my brother? Oh, I'm doing good. Can't complain. Let's see here. Going into week 3, foot is doing amazing. For y'all that don't know, I had a foot surgery like 2 weeks ago, but everything is going good. Can't complain. I'm finally, getting good rest. My foot ain't waking up angry with no pain and nothing like that. So everything is kind of really getting back to normal. I ditched the crutches, no more crutches. Everything good. I actually was in not a regular shoe, but I have like this UGG slipper, like how they're kind of big. So I've been wearing that around the house. So I haven't really been in my boot too much around the house, but it's been good. It's been good, man. It's good. Kick Rocks, good morning. Feeling ready and excited. I'm ready. Jawar said he feeling great. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm ready, man. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. Like I said, kind of like honestly, like I know the foot issue is still there, but it's like almost like a thing of the past in a sense because, like I said, no more pain. It's almost just about getting back to normal. Stitches out. I was able to, you know what I'm saying, like the little butterfly, little steri strips. Those are falling off. So we almost getting back to normal, man. In about let's see here, in 2 more weeks from this Wednesday, I will be out of the boot completely. So other than that, man, I'm feeling amazing. I ain't gonna lie. I'm ready to get this day started. So let's see what we got. Double M, what up, brother? How you feeling? Thanks for tapping in. All right, man. Let's get to the charts. Let's look at some news. We got some crazy news going on. Let's see here. Let's get to some newsy news. All right. And bam. All right. Today is the 16th. So we today, bunch of red folder for Canada. We had some orange folder news this morning. I didn't see anything. I didn't see no major shifts in the in volume on that news. So usually orange folder doesn't really do too much, but there are times where it has done something. Like it has where we were like, whoa, what's going on? I had a great weekend, bro. I had a great weekend, Matthew. A great weekend. Thanks for asking, brother. Just took care of some stuff this weekend, but I had a pretty good weekend. No complaints at all. When we have, and I'm gonna show you. Speaking of FOMC week, are we likely to see less setups? D Harper. I know who that is. I know who that is. What's up, cuz? Cuz jumped in. What's up, girl? What you doing? What you doing up in here? Nah, I'm messing with you. What's up, cuz? My cuz jumped in here. I love it. I love it. So going back to your question, Logan, it's not that we see less setup. Let me say this: the market can tend to be choppy. That's the best way I can. That's what I've noticed based on characteristics. The market can tend to be very choppy. Why that is? Just something that I think we talked about this last week. Remember when it was a CPI, we were talking about this last week, right? And I was saying that what I've noticed characteristics from NQ. Bodovan, what's up, brother? I noticed characteristics from NQ. I noticed that on news days, remember I always say like the days before, we see a lot of ranging. Just something that characteristics that I've just seen just over the time of watching this pair for the past 2 years. And FOMC is like really, really big news. You know what I mean? So we're gonna slide down to that. Let's see here. We got like 7 minutes before it open. So I just wanted to show y'all something. So Tuesday, not too much going on, at least for today. Let me jump back to today. Today, pretty much news is over. We have Australia, got some red folder news tonight at 8:30 p.m. Remember, this is all Eastern time. It's all Pacific time, not Eastern time. I'm on Pacific time frame. So if you're trading overnight, just be mindful of Australia got some red folder news. So just keep that in mind. Tuesday, little orange folder for us at 7 a.m. my time, which is Pacific time. Now Wednesday, look at this, y'all. Wednesday, we got some. Look at this. Wednesday is like D-Day, like my coach said yesterday on a call. 5:30, we got red folder. Canada, their stuff doesn't really affect us too much. I haven't seen that. I'm not saying that it can't, but I haven't seen it in my 2 years and I've never known them to have news like during our session. That's another thing too. Usually their news is always like overnight. So that's something that I haven't seen. 11 o'clock, we got FOMC. Now it's a big day this is a huge day on Wednesday. So to answer your question, Logan, I'm expecting to see a lot of ranging going on prior to that. I'm thinking like Tuesday and even before market. I know we got 5:30 news. I'm interested to see how volume moves, considering that we have this 5:30 red folder, these 2 red folder news events, which is about 5.5 hours before FOMC. The good thing is at 11 a.m. for me, I'm already done trading at that time, but I am expecting to see some ranging. I'm expecting to see that, but then as I also stated, because we have this 5:30 news right here, I'm wondering if this is going to bring a little bit of volume into the market to where we're not seeing as much ranging as normal. So that's just something to look out for. Yeah, just something to look out for. And then of course Thursday, a bunch of red folder overnight. GBP, you already know that's Britain. Of course, CHF, that's China. So a lot of overnight stuff going on, and I'm sure that I'm wondering if that has a lot to do with the war. So because I've never seen this much red folder news also from the other sessions either. So this is all kind of new to me as well. We have new home sales and we have unemployment claims on Thursday. Friday is kind of quiet. Well, not kind of. It's quiet on Friday. We got nothing on Friday. So let's jump to the charts. So look at this. I'm on the 1 minute. I'm on MNQ. For those that don't know, I trade micros. So let's do this here. I'll jump down to the 5 minute just so we can have a smaller area to look at and not be so big. So of course, this line right here, this is where New York session, overnight session started. So we just call it like the starting week because of course it was Sunday. So if you see, price has just been bullish the whole time. I mean, it's like we had some little small pullbacks here, little tiny one here, little ranging, kind of stayed bullish. Never really had, if you look, price never really too much broke this level last night. What is this? This is like 24,474.50. Never really pretty much broke that. That seems like that is the floor right now. That would be our support level at this point. Not to take a trade. I'm just saying, just for speaking from a price action perspective. So little ranging, price went up, hit this support level again, and you can see it's been kind of just going bullish ever since. What I'm expecting price to do, we're almost at, I'm assuming that we're going to get above this 8% line today. So what I'm seeing price to do something like this, come down, hit this daily level, and then go up. That's what I'm seeing. Why? Because if you think about it, we have a lot of liquidity down here, right? A lot of people that place buys, they have stop losses in this area. So it's a lot of liquidity down here. And to me, this is like our biggest area of liquidity would be right here. Now, price can do whatever it wants. Price could come all the way down here and do, something else. But what's up, Super Spaceman? Nah, man, you ain't crawling in. You walking in. You just walked in and sat down. You good, bro? Thanks for popping in. Appreciate you. But yeah, so price could come all the way down and grab some of this liquidity and take off back bullish. But from what I'm seeing, I'm seeing something like that. That's what I'm seeing. Seeing something like this and then go back up. Now, where price stops, I mean, we do have a fair value gap here. So we know it's a bunch of orders sitting right here, right? Bunch of orders here. We have orders sitting here. But I'm definitely looking for price to come down. Of course, we don't know how far, but definitely come down and then continue on back bullish. We've been doing a lot of ranging. It's kind of just up. So this is March 9th all the way until March 11th, which was last week, right? So a lot of ranging up here. Price came down, kind of a little bit of ranging, went back up, hitting this reversal zone, came back down. We had like a lot of ranging days if you think about last week. So with that said, I'm at some point, my alarm going off because we got 1 minute before market opens. What I'm expecting is, like I said, I'm expecting price to continue on bullish. I'm looking for a bull run to pop in here pretty soon. That's what I'm looking for, to be honest. I'm looking for a bull run. When? I don't know, but I do believe it's coming. Because we've been playing below this 8% line for a while. We went below it, went above it, went below it. Now we're playing very, very low below it. I know we have the war going on, so it could be some time before the bullish run, but just from what I'm seeing, based on characteristics again, I'm definitely seeing a bull run at some point going to come. Now, like I said, that could be a while because we are dealing with war stuff, so we're dealing with a lot of, energy issues and stuff like that. So market just opened, and that's our opening candle right there. So we'll just see. We'll just sit back and see. FOMC weeks can be weird too. To go back to your question, Logan, FOMC weeks can be weird. If you've been watching NQ for as long as I have, that's something that you'll notice. Like, it's when I say weird, I mean like not weird in a bad way. Weird like it's always some rangy. It's always something like going on with price in FOMC weeks. It's just what it is. The why, I'm just assuming that a lot of that is just I know what I tend to see is I tend to see when we have news days, it's because how could I word this? When we have news days, right? On the news days where prices like super duper, I mean, on the days when our news is like really, really brings a lot of volume into the market, I always look before that. And it seems like on those days when the news has a very high volume, it seems like we get a lot of ranging during that time. Now, when we have news where there's not that much volume, like the news doesn't bring in that much volume, when I look left on all the past candles, what I've come to notice is it's a little bit more movement. So in my mind, I always like think like is, of course we don't know this, right? But I'm always thinking like, it does like, because remember, let's talk about something. We're this in this whole trading game, us as retail traders, just remember we're the bottom feeders of this big trading sea. Like just look at trading as a sea, right? And the big fish are the banks, all the hedge fund institutions. Those are the big fish, right? Wall Street, that's all the big fish. We're the bottom feeders. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's like they're the market makers. I call them the market makers because they're the big fish. What I think goes on is that because they know what's going on, right? They know like what's going on when all these different news events. They have a more insight into how impactful it's going to be into the market than we do because they're on the inside. So this is just my thoughts, right? I've always thought about this like this, and it seems like on those days where we're going to have like crazy volume in news, the market is like ranging, or it's just not that much movement prior. But when I notice when we have news and it's like the news doesn't really bring a lot of volume into the market, I notice we have a little bit more movement, a little bit more like movement with price action prior to those news events. And I don't know if that's like the balance in it, with price, because you think about it, a lot of time we get a lot of manipulation from news, right? Like we'll get a news candle and it'd be like crazy, crazy lightsaber to the upside, to the downside. And and that does bring in volume. But then it seems like the news is always a setup from what I've seen. It seems like the news is always a setup for either what's going on prior to news or what's happening after news. And the only way you can gauge that is you just got to just check the market. I don't think there's no right or wrong way about what I'm saying for however we all look at it, but it's just something that I just noticed. So I'm just giving you like what I've seen. Liz, yes, I do. So the pink lines are my daily levels. Blue lines are let me see if I can get some. Blue lines are my unmitigated levels. I do have a video on how to do that. The 8% line, you can just put it on your chart now. It's 2469725. You can see it right there. Just put that on your chart. Just put that. That is not anything that that's just something that we talked about. Well, I know you weren't here that day or whatever, no big deal, but the 8% line, you can put that on your chart now. Like I said, just if you're on TradingView, just go here, click the little plus sign, but go to the price point. Go to 24,697.25. Click it. Then this box is going to open up on that price point. You'll have draw horizontal line at 24,697.25. Click that. Go here. You can change it to whatever color you want. You can change the color to the text. Go here in the settings, and then you go to text. You can type in whatever you want. Type in 8% line. That's how I got it there. And then on the style, you can choose where you want it. Oh, excuse me. Right here, you can choose where you want. If you want a top, if you want it on the right, if you want the bottom of the line, middle of the line, you can do all that there. So that's how I got that there. So I would say you can go ahead on and put that in there. 8% line. Now the pink and blue lines, I have a video on the channel. You can go check that out. It's I believe it's let me give you that right. I think it's how to draw your daily levels. Let me make sure I give you the right. Yeah, how to set up your daily levels. Yep. So just go there and check that out, and it'll show you, have a step-by-step on how to do all this and why they're there. But yeah. So anybody in anything? I'm not in anything at the moment, as y'all can see. I do have, you can see down here, I do have everything set up. I'm not in anything though. So honestly, it did just the opposite. Remember last week I was like, it's gonna come down and go up. It went up first. So basically, what price just did. Price just swept this liquidity right here. This buy side liquidity. This is the London high, right here. This blue line right here. Let me open this up a little bit for y'all. So this blue line right here, this is the London high. Because remember, our open candle was this funny looking doji right here. So everything before that is still London. So swept the London high, still hanging around in the in this reversal zone. So we know it took the buy side liquidity. So now I'm assuming if it's going to start making its way down. It actually did that last week. Nothing as of yet for HSS. I'm watching the charts like a hawk waiting for a setup. There you go. That's how you do it, Morbid Drifter. Especially for you, because on the HSS, that is a more like faster, quick trade. You got to be quick. I was talking to Euphoria about that, and he said, man, with the HSS, you just got to be very, very fast. So I was talking, just getting, got some tidbits from him, just, understanding, pretty much how that strategy moves, just to, pass that on to some of you guys here. And as you can see, I don't know if y'all noticed, I changed the color on my swing high, swing low indicator. If y'all remember, my swing high in these dots were red on the swing highs, and on the swing lows they were turquoise. I was like, you know what? Let me make them the color of the candle. So that's what I did. So this red here, solid. This turquoise here, these are just letting you know that these are the previous swing high, the most previous swing high and the most previous swing low. That's why they're different colors. So if anyone was just wondering. But yeah, so yeah, Logan, I don't know. I'm honestly going back to what you were stating, because what you mentioned. Yes, the 1 minute time frame. Sports Life, thanks for stopping in. 1 minute time frame. You can always look up here, y'all. Right here, the one that's great. One minute time frame. I'm on micros. Yep. But yeah, so going back to what you had stated, Logan, I'm definitely looking. I'm like, because I know we have like big news this week. These are days like whenever we have big news going on, even like when we had CPI, I think that was last week or the week before. I always like to. I'm looking at the market anyway, but I'm also like giving a really good like look into what's going on, because I'm always trying to understand like what is price going to do with all this news coming out. Is it going to range? And if it ranges, then I'm like, okay, excuse me. I'm like, okay, it ranged. So let me see if we're going to have like a super crazy big news day. You know what I'm saying? That's how that's what I'm looking for, right? And then if price is like moving, I'm like, man, we got news on, on whatever day, and price has just been moving. So then I'm thinking in my mind, is the news not gonna be really anything? Like, are we not gonna get too much volume out of news? So I'm always, you got to remember, right? We're bottom feeders, right? So our strategy is way different, right? We have to like be like snipers, because we're getting little pieces. They getting chunks. We getting pieces. Just think about it. We getting pieces. We don't even have the kind of money that they playing with. So we always have to remember that we're bottom feeders. And that's not a bad thing. We could still eat. You know what I mean? But remember, they got the whole pie. We're just getting like a little slither. You know what I mean? Just always remember that. We are retail traders. We are the smaller fish, or the smallest fish in the pond. I don't know, the lower man on a totem pole. However you want to look at it, like that's who we are. And that's okay, because we can still eat. But just always keep that in mind. We are the little fish in the big pond. So, but yeah, so that's why I'm always looking for that. I'm always looking to see what is price going to do, considering we have all this major news going on. And this week we got like a lot of news on one day. I've never seen that much red folder news on one day my whole 2 years of trading. And I only trade one ticker, so I'm not all over the place. I can tell you pretty much everything about NQ, because that's all that I watch. That's all that I trade. So I know this. I'm not going to say I know it like the back of my hand, but I know it very well. I don't think I will ever know, or any one of us will ever know a ticker like the back of our hand. We'll know its characteristics very well, But to say that we know it like the back of our hand, I don't think that would ever be true to say, because think about it. Price can do whatever it wants at any moment. But we can, after looking at it for so long, you can look at it, you can understand like different things that go on during different times, news, Mondays, particular days, when it's been ranging, we're looking for a certain move in certain directions. Like these are all little things that you'll pick up from just looking at it. There's no book, there's no YouTube video on it. It's just something that you just learn from experience from just watching it. That's the best way that I can put it. Because there's a lot of things that my coach and my mentor taught me about NQ, but even like he even stated like, a lot of this stuff is going to be experience based. Like you can't teach it. You just got to be on the charts all the time. That's why I always stress, if you can, I know a lot of us have jobs, but if you can, have your charts up on your phone. You ain't got to look at it every 15, like just pull it out, like maybe once an hour. If you could pull it out twice an hour, that's cool too. Like just look at it, just see what it's doing, just to keep a mental note of like how it's moving. That's all. So if you see something like, whoa, like if you pull your phone out or whatever, you look at your device, whatever it is you got, and you see like some major volume moves, lock that in, make a mental note of it to go back and see, let me see what's going on. Let me see if, if Trump said something, let me see if some other news came out. So, just stuff like that. It just gives you a better, how would I say, a better ideology into how the ticker that you're trading moves, because that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to learn it. I always say, like, treat these tickers like your girl or your guy, right? Like treat them like that. In the regard of, you want to know everything about them, right? When you first meet someone, I always use this analogy. When you first meet someone, you want to like get to know like what kind of food they like, what kind of movies they like, what kind of music they like. Like it's the same thing with these tickers. It's like get to know it, get to understand it. Remember, it's going to always do what it wants to do, but at least understanding its characteristics will help you in understanding how it moves. One thing I can tell you is on news days, I'm very cautious. And like news weeks, big news weeks, and even days before news, I'm very cautious. Why? Because I can tell you, NQ does some little different things when we got news and stuff going on. So I'm always, side-eyeing NQ when it's news weeks, especially big ones. T Good. Oh, T Goodish. Let's see here. Will you enter trade at 24,590? 24,590. 24,590. 24,590 would be down here. No, if I was to enter a trade, if price came back down, because look like it's doing what it did last week. If price comes back down and I get a setup off of this, this previous swing low right here, I'll take a daily. I have this little daily strat that I trade. I'll take the setup if I get it to this daily level right here. This will be my target, and I would just close out my position and be done. That's if it happens. But if I did, it would have to be something like we get market structure shift, meaning the candle closed below this, and then we get a fair value gap to form. And then I will place my order right at the my limit order right at this point it would be at the bottom of the fair value gap, looking for sales to take down to this daily level right here. So that's pretty much what I would only look for the downside. Other than that, I would take one up here too. If we had the same thing here, if price came up before this one happened, if price came up and made market structure shift above this previous swing high and gave us a fair value gap, I would take it there. But I feel more comfortable taking sells because let me explain why. I'm gonna go to the 5-minute just to kind of bring, have a less real estate to look at. Because if you look down here, this is where all the liquidity is sitting right now. All the liquidity is sitting here. Liquidity, like I said earlier, meaning there's a lot of, think about how many people from the overnight, all these thousands of traders that have been trading from the overnight session. You're welcome. You're welcome, T Good. You're welcome. Think about all the traders that were in buys overnight, right? All their stop losses are down here because I'm sure they're still in buys. So a lot of them ain't closed their positions. They're holding. So a lot of liquidity is sitting right here. I should say here because this is the most previous. A lot of a lot of geez, huge big candle right there on the 5 minute. Why are your candles bigger than mine? Probably because look, maybe that. I'm just opening it up so it makes them look bigger. So you can do that with your on your chart. That's probably what it could be. I like to open them up so y'all can see them. That might be what it is. But yeah, so there's a lot of liquidity sitting here. That's why I'm looking for sales, because we've been bullish all night, right? Price never really came back. And we've already swept, go back to the 1 minute, we've already swept London high, which is right here. So the sell side liquidity we took that already. Yeah, we took that. So I'm really expecting price to come back down. There's target points here. We have daily levels here. What's closer? I guess they're about this almost the same distance away. Where we at? This is 710, 705, and this is actually, this would be closer, but let's see. Let's see what we get. But that's what I was thinking. That's why I was thinking for price to come down. You're welcome, no problem. That's why I was thinking price to come down, because there's a lot of liquidity here. And the reason why I say this all the time is because NQ likes to come and take liquidity. That's what it does. If you pay attention to NQ, it'll always come and take not always, 90% of the time, it will always come and take the liquidity from the overnight session. It's just something that I notice NQ loves to do. It'll take the sell side, the buy side and the sell side most days. And then a lot of days it'll take one, either or. So being that price was here, I was really expecting it to come back down and then go up, but it's just continuing up. But also too, if you look at our opening candle right here at 6:30, this white candle would be red on your chart. My blue candles would be your green candles, of course. If you see, look what price did. Look at my crosshair. It's going right into this fair value gap right here. So it came down, wicked in, hit this fair value gap, because remember, these fair value gaps, there's orders sitting there, orders that were not picked up. So orders are sitting there. So, that's what I'm expecting. So I don't know. We did get this daily setup right here that I had talked about earlier. So let me see. I'm gonna try to rock this. So we got market structure shift here. Price formed the fair value gap. So I'm gonna place my order right at the top of this fair value gap. Let me hurry up, and bam. And I'm going buy for 5 micros. Let's see if it could tap us in and go up. Order submitted. Let's see. All right, so we're tapped in. Stop loss should be down here. So we'll see what's up. We'll see what's going on. Stop loss. Set that. Let's see what we got, y'all. Order submitted. See what we got. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place my TP up here, and let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. I was really looking for price to come here, but it did give me a setup. So when I see my setup, I got to take it. That's the way it works. So, but we'll see. We'll see what price does. What is a fair value gap? Fair value gap. A fair value gap is an area where there's a lot of orders sitting. It's formed by 3 candles. It's basically a gap between here. You see this white? Let me open this up. You see this white candle here and this white candle here, right? So it's at the close of this candle and at the open of this one. That's where they always form. If you go back on the chart and you can see a bunch of them doing that. Let me just go to the 5 minute. So as you can see how it's formed, you see, look here, top of this, bottom of this candle is always like a 3 candle setup whenever they form. And you can get them sell side or buy side, but these are all fair value gaps. Basically orders where prices sit. I would say to get a very detailed explanation of it, I would say go ahead and just look it up. Just go to Google and just hit fair value gap. I'm saying to get it in-depth, to get a very in-depth breakdown of what a fair value gap is. And you can just put with this when you Google it, I would say just be a little specific. Just Google say fair value gap in trading, and then it should give you like a good breakdown of what it is. But that's basically what it is. It's areas where orders are sitting. It's called the fair value gap. And the way that it's formed is the way that I just explained to you. It's always formed with 3 candles. 3 candles meaning there's always going to be on the opposite ends of one candle. It doesn't have to necessarily be a huge candle. They can form anywhere, and they can be any size, as you can see. Some of them are big, some of them are smaller. The bigger they are, the more orders that are sitting there. The smaller they are, of course, less orders that are sitting there. How many? That's not anything that that we would know right off. We just know that there's orders sitting there. And the reason why I trade this way is because, let me go back to the 1 minute. It's because the characteristics of NQ is NQ loves to come into the fair value gaps, take these orders, like, fill these orders because the orders are sitting, right? They're like my limit order that was sitting there, right? I didn't get tapped in until price came down, tapped me in, and went in this direction. So with that said, NQ, I'm speaking of NQ, NQ loves to come back into these areas and then take off. It's just something that it's a characteristic of NQ. It's the reason why I trade my strategies this way. It's the reason why I have these indicators on my chart. The swing high, swing low, fair value gap indicator, because that is a part of the strategy, and that's how I trade NQ. Does that work for other tickers? I don't know. I only trade NQ, and this is the way I was taught, and this is the way my mentor and my coach trades. So I pretty much mimicked his style. Y'all know, I've shared that story with y'all. Y'all know that. So yeah. So boom. There it is. So while that's cooking, we're gonna let that cook. Let's jump into question of the day. Let's get our psychology going right now. So boom. So question of the day today. Let me see anybody say anything. All right, cool. So question of the day today. It's a good one, as always. At the end of today, will you be proud of your execution? Read that. Think about that. At the end of today, will you be proud of your execution? Let's talk about that. So basically, when you think about that question, it's like a daily accountability type question, right? This is something that you would ask yourself every day. At the end of the day, will I be proud of my execution? I'm saying your because I'm asking you, but it's something that we would want to ask ourselves, right? So the reason why we want to ask ourselves this question is because there's a couple of things that we want to make sure that we're staying on top of. Like I said, this is daily accountability, right? Asking yourself this question every day. At the end of the day, will I be proud of my execution? Okay, so this right here is going to tap into what? 3 things: discipline, risk management, and patience, because your execution depends on those 3 things, right? Like our high probability execution depends on what? Those 3 things. Was I disciplined? That exercised good risk management? And was I patient? Patient waiting for my setup, not forcing anything. So it's a great question to always ask yourself when you're trading. Even if you don't take anything, your execution could be not placing a trade. Execution doesn't necessarily mean that you executed a trade. Execution just means execution of your trading plan and of your trading game. Because we don't have to trade every day. Your execution could be, you know what? It's crazy news, price is ranging, I'm gonna sit on my hands. You executed. That's still an execution. And that's still a strategy. That was a strategy of what? Exercising risk, like I said, discipline and patience. Strategy doesn't necessarily mean entering a trade. So always just keep that in mind. So this is always a good question to ask yourself. And think about it. We want to stay disciplined, patient, and exercise risk management, right? Because if we don't, then what? We're trading on emotions, right? We don't want to be trading with pride. We don't want to, we ain't chasing, you know what I mean? We don't want to be chasing trades. We want to make sure we're respecting our stop loss. We only want to take, our plans, setups, what I'm saying? Just the way how you saw me place my stop loss, my take profit, and my entry. You notice I put my entry first, then my stop loss, then my take profit. That's the order that you would always want to enter in your trades, right? Entry for first, of course, that gets you in a trade. Then as soon as you're in a trade, your stop loss to protect your capital, and then put your take profit on your chart, however that's going to be. So remember, the goal is what? Being a professional decision maker, right? Because if you think about it, that's what we are, right? We have all of these decisions that we have to make, right? We got to consider overnight session, what price is doing, if there's news involved, right? So these are all the things that we have to factor into our equation to make sure that we're following the plan, exercising risk, exercising patience, making sure that we're disciplined. Like, these things matter. These things are very important. So the goal, like I say, is to become a professional decision maker, because we have all of these decisions that we have to make. So we always want to keep that in mind. That's why I like to do these questions of the days, because I'm trying to get our psychology together. Because think about it, it's easy to go on the charts and just, you can get in a trade like nothing. That's anything. All of us can get in a trade in in seconds, right? You can show a 5-year or 6-year-old how to go on a chart and click around. Like, anyone can get in a trade. Serena, good morning, babe. So, we always want to make sure that we're factoring in the psychology part of it, because that's what's the main important. If our psychology is intact, and we have our discipline, our risk management, our patience, all of the things that go into our trading psychology, I guarantee you the profits are going to come, because that's where it starts. It starts here, not on the charts, not clicking around. Just keep that in mind. It starts here. So that's why I'm always big on these things. That's why it's always important that we make sure that we are exercising and, how would I say, factoring in our trading psychology in every trade that we take, or just every time that we sit down and look at the markets. Because as I stated before, our trading psychology for that day could be that we sat on our hands. That's execution within itself. So you always want to ask yourself this question: at the end of today, will I be proud of my execution? That's just to get your psychology going. Remember, as I stated, the goal is to become a professional decision maker. Best decision of the session. You know what I mean? What was your best decision of the session? Like, that's another thing to ask yourself. When you're journaling, you can put that in your journal. What was the best decision of the session, meaning that trading day? Was it you sat on your hands? Was it your trade took off without you and you missed your entry and you didn't FOMO in, you didn't chase the trade? Like, these are all things that you should be writing down, because at the end of the day, like I stated, you want to be building, absolutely, Chris, you want to be building that mental muscle. Remember, we have to build this. If we're not building this, I'm telling you, we're going to have problems in our trading game. That's the whole purpose of why I started this channel and live stream, is because I do understand that from coming from a beginner to getting to the charts, there's a lot of stuff that has to go on in between that. You can learn strategies and all of that, and that's fine. Doing your back testing, doing your demo trading, all of that is fine. That has to be done. But the main important thing is right here. If we don't have this intact, all that other stuff is not going to work out. I don't care how great that strategy is. I don't care the win rate. I don't care about any of that stuff. If your psychology is not together, think about it. You're going to be over leveraging. You're not going to be factoring in good risk. You're not going to be using discipline. You're not going to be exercising patience. All of those things are going to come back to what? Bite us in the butt, period. And we have to keep that. We have to keep that stuff in mind. Our trading psychology is everything. So, and also too, there's always something that we can always improve on, right? So that is the other reason why we want to ask ourselves these questions and make sure that we're exercising those different things that I stated. So what? If there's something that we need to improve on, we can improve on it for the next day. Because remember, we're doing this on a day-by-day basis. We ain't worrying about last Friday or yesterday. If there was, it was a yesterday trading day, whatever it was, we're worrying about today. And whatever we do today, we want to carry that over into tomorrow. into the next day. And if there's anything that we should have done today, we want to make sure that what? We leave it at today and we do not carry that into the next day. It's all these things that we have to factor in. It's very important that we do that. That is for our trading psychology. And like Chris said, Chris couldn't have said it better. It's exercising that mental muscle, period. Like that's what's important. We have to always factor that in. We always have to make sure that that is a part of our trading game that we always look at every day. Every day we have to look at that and making sure that we're factoring that in, making sure that we're always thinking about this. Exactly. Being fully present. Exactly, Chris. Thanks for engaging, brother. Exactly. Like that is very, very, very important. Because what? The name of the channel is Tradegheenyuz for a reason. Because I talk about this all the time. It's for what? Because we are all here to become trade geniuses. That's what we're here for. I'm just the host. But we're here to become trade geniuses. Everyone that's in this room right now, I consider you a trade genius. We're building a foundation to get to that place. That is what this is all about. Nothing more. So down the line, 6 months, 1 year, however long down the line, we can look and be like, hey, I remember when I started, I started watching this guy and man, and Trent he's been helping, and, we're all together collectively. We have, enhanced our trading game. We've took our trading game. LOL, sister, it's Chris. Oh, it's Chrissy. Oh, my bad, sweetie. I didn't even see that. My bad, sister. My bad. I just see it's Chrissy. Mac, got you. You know what? That I was hiding with that M. It was like hiding like right there. But nah, I got you. Thanks for correcting me. And my apologies. My apologies, my sister. So it's ingrained now. I was saying, I'm telling you that I was hiding right behind the M. It was like looking back there like this. But yeah, that's what's up. But yeah, once again, my apologies, sister. I got you. Cool. Spare me, please. Spare me. Chrissy. Man, that's so crazy. Look, I'm still looking at the eye like, where were you? Like where were you? Where were you? And these glasses are straight, just blue light glasses. So it's not like I have bad vision. That's bad. But nah, that's what's up. But yeah, if we can't, see cracking up. That's what's up. I'm glad it's all in fun because at least y'all, you know my intentions. But I got you, sister. But yeah, y'all, give me some free likes. I appreciate you, Kick Rocks. Kick Rocks said 3 likes. Let's get them likes up, folks. I appreciate you, Kick Rocks. I appreciate you. Cool Lax Kobe. Yo, thanks for stopping in, brother. For those that haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. Give me them free likes. It's just some clicks, y'all. It's free. That's all I ask. I don't ask nothing else. Give me some free likes. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? And just engage. That's all I like. I mean, that's all I ask for. But yeah, so Kobe, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you being here, brother. We're in here just getting all this trading psychology going, building this mental muscle, getting this foundation rocking. But yeah, so going back to what I was stating, we always want to make sure that we're asking ourselves this question every day. You can even put it in your journal. At the end of the day, will I be proud of my execution? Always ask yourself this question. Very, very good mental tool to keep you going. I took L today. I jumped the gun, but I live to trade another day. Hey, Kaiser Gregory. Hey, it happens. But you know what? At least you said I jumped the gun. So that means you didn't exercise patience, right? It's all right. We're not in here pointing fingers. We're in here making sure that we're making corrections. We're a family, right? We're making sure that we make corrections. You know what I mean? And I appreciate you being transparent and even saying that to let everyone else know in the chat that that's what this community is built on, love and graciousness. So with that said, if you chased a trade, you FOMO'd in, you did something you shouldn't do, like that's what we're here for. Put it in the chat. That you're just holding yourself accountable. Don't be afraid. No one's gonna talk about you or nothing like that. Like that's not what we're here for. We're all here to learn, and we're beginners, and we all made I know I made all kinds of mistakes. And there's even still to this day, I do make some small mistakes here and there, but there's still mistakes, small, big, whatever. There's still mistakes. We make mistakes. It happens. So, but yeah. So going back to what I'm saying, like, just always remember that. At the end of the day, you know, ask yourself that. Journal this every day. That should be a question in your journal. You know, with all the other things, when you put your time, the time that you took your trade, the price point, how many contracts did you trade, units, contracts, whatever, where you went 5 micros, 3 micros, you know, what you were targeting, all that kind of stuff. Let me see. Yes, sir. I've been doing some research on TEF, wanted to invest, and I have some questions if you got time. Absolutely, man. You can definitely ask your questions. I have no problem. I'll be answering them as we're going along in the chat. I mean, as we're going along through the live, but yeah, we don't judge. No one's perfect. Absolutely. Yeah, we don't do that. We're here to help. There ain't no judging, because ain't nobody here better than no one else. We're all here collectively together. Straight up. Like I said, this community is built on love and graciousness. So the goal is to get everyone to become a trade genius. Remember, that's our goal. That's our goal. That's why the channel is named that. So yeah, so just remember that, y'all, on the question of the day. So today, I have a disadvantage, sadly, being a disabled vet and being on meds. Not to go fully into it, it makes it harder. Understood, brother. The best thing I'm gonna always say is, and I want to make sure this comes across correctly. Respectfully, Morbid Drifter, respectfully, and I'm gonna say it again, respectfully. We all have different things that we have to overcome. You know what I mean? And I'm not like lessening your situation. I'm speaking, remember, I'm like I always say, I'm a strength and conditioning coach, right? And from a trading perspective, right? I'm making sure that you show up on the charts ready to go. Whatever it is that we're dealing with, we got to find a way, some type of coping skill to help us get over that hump, whatever that is, to be able to, you know, be productive on the charts, whatever that is. I don't know what that is, Morbid Drifter. You would know better than me. But I know that you can do this because I'm a true believer of, like, it's always mind over everything. It's not mind over matter. To me, it's mind over everything, with everything. That's just how I look at just everything in life. And I know that the human mind is a very, very, very powerful thing. And I know that we can overcome anything. So just keep working at it, my guy. And I guarantee you, brother, you will definitely get over the hump. And that's amazing that you find trading refreshing. Then I think for you found something that can help you, you know, overcome whatever that you're dealing with personally. You know what I'm saying? So just stay locked in, man. Stay locked in, brother. Stay locked in. You showing up every day. I see you in the TEF chat. You're very active. Stay like that. Don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Continue to be active, man. All of this will happen. Lois, I hope I'm saying that right. I already butchered one name today. I don't want to get my head chopped off. Lois, is it Lois Renee? I hope I'm saying that right. Hey, how you doing? Thanks for tapping in. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. We were just talking about question of the day and going over some psychology stuff right now, something that we do every day on this live. We do a couple of segments. And question of the day is one of them. So we're going to go right back into this. So just to kind of just recap on question of the day, remember, asking yourself this question is doing what? Is you're grading yourself on your discipline, your risk management, and your patience. That's what you're doing. You're grading yourself every day. Good morning. Good morning, Lorraine. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, Laranisha. I'm butchering names today. Laranisha. Good morning. But remember, this question is for us to hold ourselves accountable and ask ourselves, when we ask ourselves this question, we're grading ourselves on 3 things: discipline, risk management, and patience. That's what's very, very important. Those things are very, very important. We have to do that. And then also, too, this will help us not chase trades, not FOMO win. It's to help us, you know, not make any mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Build a mental muscle, as Chrissy was stating earlier. So with that said, you know what I mean? Let's always be mindful of this. I put this up there. I hope you guys, put it in your journal, write it down somewhere, take a screenshot, like add these things in. These are things that you should be asking yourself every day before you even take a trade. Like when you sit down and you run through your whole little setup and get prepared for the day, these are things that we should be doing. Also too, it's going to make you what? Respect your stop losses. Take only your planned setups. That's why you ask yourself this question. My entry was at 24,709.50. Let's jump back to that. And I see you, Kulaks. I'm gonna get to you, brother. I see you. Let's jump back to the screen share. So mine was at 24,709.50. So I think what I'm gonna do is, let me look left. I like to look left. What's left? What we got left? So another thing, if you notice, you could look left and your price point, you'll still know where your price point is. I always like to look left just to see what's going on. It's always something good to do. All right, so we're up at $467 on 1, 2, 3 on 10 accounts, because y'all know I'm copy trading. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to move my stop here, because I always like to take some partials. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna confirm this for 4 contracts. I'm gonna let price tap into that, because if I close my trade out now, it's gonna kill it's gonna kill the trade momentum. I think we have some pretty good momentum going to the upside. So what I'm gonna do is I brought my stop loss down. I'm gonna trim my position. If price comes back here, I'm gonna trim my position and leave one runner in the game. I was talking, I should have been looking at that, but no big deal. It is what it is. Yeah, see on times like this, what you want to do is, I should have already had taken my partials, but I'll be talking. It's all good. I should have already taken my partials and already left the runner. It is what it is. I'm not really worried about it. So yeah. And as you can see, this is a fair value gap I was talking about, you guys. It's another fair value gap. This is red because this is to the sell side. It's formed by 3 candles, but it hasn't closed yet. This candle has to close first for this to be a true fair value gap. Because if this candle goes up and gets pretty much above the low of this candle, this one here, let me open this up. This one here, then this fair value gap will be gone. You can see it's actually getting smaller and smaller because this candle is constantly going up. So that's how they're formed, as I was stating earlier. Takes 3 candles to do it. But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, but I should have been trimmed my position and left a runner. Yeah, I should have been did that. But I'll be talking, and that's one thing that I got to learn. This is like episode, I think we're like 15 or something like that. So I'm still learning. I'm still like learning how to, it's a learning curve for me to be engaged with y'all, go over what we need to go over, as well as stay connected to my trade. So it happens. It's no big deal. I'm not worried. My accounts are good. Let's see here. Let me go back to, I'm having trouble starting off with TF and was wondering, 1, how to actually start making trades with TF once you have an account, and 2, if there are any thresholds other than the 6K. For these questions, I would say DM me, Kulaks Kobe, DM me. Just go to DMs, it's Tradegheenyuz, DM me. I'm in the TF Discord, and then I'll run through this with you. We can run through this. Just DM me so I don't forget. But don't forget, just DM me, and we'll run through that, because it's a bunch of stuff that I want to tell you. All right, where is my entry? I think I told you that, 24,709. Morbid Drifter from one vet to another. Thank you for your service. Absolutely. On your strategy, do you take the first FEG aftermarket structure? Yeah, the first one that's formed, aftermarket structure. That, yes. I was talking to, but had half position at midpoint, which I too, and now move my stop loss to BE +1. 2 runners. Got it. We forgot. Yes. Hats off to you to be hosting a trade. Thank you. Yeah, I'm still trying. I'm still learning. I have a learning curve. I've been missing a few entries here and there, because I'm I want to engage and I want to get this information out. You know, that's what's most important to me. Of course, I want to make some money, but what's most important is that I'm my seat, right? This is what I signed up to do. This is my responsibility to make sure I give out this information. So that to me, that's first. My money's not first. You know, everyone would be like, well, my money's going to be first. I mean, yeah, if that's how you look at it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want to make some money, but I'm still in this seat and there's a responsibility I have here. So I want to make sure that what I'm sticking to my responsibility. You know what I mean? Of doing that, you know, and taking care of that. I'll get better at this. I'll get better at being able to, you know, take my trades and stay on point. That's something I've been talking about with my team. I got to get better at that. And I know that, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to be fine. It's no big deal. As long as I'm getting y'all the information, then I can walk away saying, I walk away, you know, feeling good. I walk away feeling that I know that I did, you know, that I did my duty. I was going to say my job. I don't really consider this a job. It's not a job to me. It's my duty to sit down and be responsible enough to help all these other traders do what? Get to that point to where they are comfortable in their trading game. They show up on the charts, even if you're not profitable at this point. At least you showing up, you understand what you have to do, and you're ready to be on the charts. And now it's just an experience thing. You're just got to keep showing up every day and get better and better and better at what you're doing. You know, that's pretty much it. And that is the goal. That is the ultimate goal. So, but yeah, so, you know, it's always a work in progress. You can go to TF Discord and then just look up Tradegheenyuz in there. You'll see I'm in there. I'm one of the coaches in there. Just DM me on Discord. If you're in the inner circle, you can DM me there as well. So there it is. Yep. Also too, if you're not in any of the Discords, I also have my email address. There's an email address in the description, the very, very bottom. It's trendgenius@gmail.com. If you're not in any of the Discords, you can hit me there also. So you have, you know, multiple ways of contacting me if you got to contact me. And yes, I do answer. If it takes me a while, just know I have other things going on, but I'm not saying it like I got other things going on, so I'm not going to get back to you. No, I'm saying if it takes a while, just please understand I do have other things going on. But what I like to do is when I'm done with the live stream, I like to go back and try to hit up people that commented me, that DM me, so I stay on point. But I'm here for you. I'm not going to leave you hanging. But like I said, if I don't get back to you, just please understand that I just have some other stuff going on that I'm just in the middle of doing. So, I mean, just know that. But I'm here for y'all, period. So, but yeah, so we're going to see if price going to get back up here. If it does, I'm going to trim my position. I'm going to trim 4 contracts. I'm basically going to bank these 4 minis, and then I'm going to change this sell stop here to 1, because you're going to see like this is going to change right here. If it hits, maybe it doesn't. Look how close it got. So, all right. That's the second time price has went up there, and hit and came down. So we know this is a strong area. So I think just to be smart, I'm going to go ahead on and I'm going to take my 282 on my 10 accounts just to be smart. Just to be smart. If price goes back up there, oh well. I'm going to take my base hit. Yep, it was like right there. I know. I'm going to take my base hit. I have no problem taking my base hit. I'll take my base hit. Like I said, that's basically $277.50 after my fees on 10 accounts. That's like $2,700 for the day. I ain't mad. Could have had more. If I was paying attention, I would have set this up here. I would have set my I would have already had that up. I would have already had my my 4 contracts to pretty much take my position and then possibly ride it up. I mean, honestly, I wasn't really seeing sells only because, let me explain. Usually I would hold, but I'm not seeing sells because we've been so bullish. I'm still expecting price to come back and take this out. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like I don't mind taking base hits. it's 10 accounts. It's not one account, it's 10. So I don't mind taking base hits, and I don't have to hold. Let's see here. Side note, what I've been noticing since the war has started, that when oil pushes up and Q goes down. Yeah. See, those are little things that you notice, but you have to pay attention. Oh, my stop loss, Sports Life, just to let you know, my stop loss was this previous swing low, which was here. My stop loss was here, right here, this previous swing low. So I'll break it. Let me go back to the 1 minute so I can break down this trade to y'all. What I did for the ones that want to just get a little bird's eye view, right? I'm sorry. So this right here, this is my market structure shift candle. This is the first step that I have to see into my trade, right? Market structure shift. Then the next thing I need to see is a fair value gap. So I waited for that, which was here. That formed. So then I placed my entry right at the top of this fair value gap. This came back down and tapped me in because it crossed my entry, which was here. It tapped me in, and now I'm in a trade. Actually, my stop loss was here at this 24, what's the low of this? The low is 24,623. So 24,623 was my stop loss. So that's pretty much, that was my trade. My take profit was here at this daily level. I normally would have held, but just, even though if you look at price is still making higher highs and higher lows, but I'm noticing when it's hitting this level, it was bouncing off, and it did it twice. And it wicked in. If I would have stayed in the trade and not took my base hit, it pretty much would have wicked me. This wick right here would have hit my limit order on my 4 micros, and I would have been in on one contract, and I would have just left the runner. But it is what it is. I like to be safe, but also too, it's two things that you got to deal with, right? We talk about decision making, right? So it's like, okay, I could hold it and just continue to hold it, but there's times where you'll hold trades and it'll go all the way against you. You can't really call it if it's going to go against you, right? You have to just kind of gauge the moment, right? You're gauging the moment. And at that moment, I was happy with taking that. As you can see, price came down, went right back up, and wicked in. That happens. But I'm still happy with my base hit, period. Like, I'm still happy with my base hit. It's cool. No harm, no foul. I'm good. I can walk away feeling good about my execution. I'm definitely going to journal that I possibly could have held this longer, but also too, I didn't take my partials when I wanted to. I really wanted to take my partials around this area right here because, as I stated, I was talking, so I didn't have it set. No harm, no foul. It's some stuff that I have to work on when it comes to engaging and, handling my responsibility as well as my trading. No harm, no foul. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump to, but like I said, at the end of the day, 277.50 on 10 accounts. It's not a bad day. Even if I made $100, 10 accounts, still $1,000. I mean, it's not bad. It's cool to me. I'm happy. I'm not here trying to go to the Lambo store off of one trade. I'm just trying to take base hits. As long as I take base hits, I'm gonna be good. So that's what's important to me. How do you find your buys for the day? Boom. Absolutely, Antonio. Thank you, brother. That is my ideology. Where are we gonna go and make 2,700 that fast, sitting on my butt, enjoying what I do? Like, where? Where? But yeah, that is something that I have noticed too. And I've noticed this before. NG, because NG is oil. So to tap into your point, Melanie, NG is oil, right? As a ticker, oil, NG. I noticed when NG is like, whatever direction NG is going in, NQ is going in the opposite direction. They're never like going in the same way. Something I've noticed because Juvier was trading NG for a while, like 2024, a lot 2024. He slowed down a lot in 2025. And then I think at the point he just hasn't traded in a while. I don't think he doesn't trade it anymore. He just hasn't traded in a while. So with that said, but yeah, it's something that I have noticed as well. So how do I find my bias? So there's a few different ways that you can find bias. You can find your bias with NQ. You can use how the overnight session moves. I look at that, but also too, I look at like where liquidity rests. Now, look, NQ may never ever come back to come and get this liquidity. That has happened many times. But I kind of base my bias off that. If we've been bullish all this time, right? That means there's a bunch of stop losses down here because these are a lot of people that were in buys. Remember, there's an overnight session. Those guys are trading. Guys and girls are trading. So I'm always expecting, because it's NQ, I'm always expecting NQ to just come and sweep liquidity. That's just something that it loves to do. Does it do it every trading session? Of course not, but it does it a lot. So do we know when it's going to happen? We don't, but that's how I like to factor it in. So I'm also making a video on how I find my bias because it's pretty long and lengthy. So I'm giving you the short version, Melanie. Exactly, J. Roy, for 1 hour today. Think about it. The market opens 6:30, 7:26. Like, where are we gonna go and do that at? So I'm happy with that. But anyway, so going back to what you were saying, Melody, I know there's a lot of liquidity right here. You can see, look at this. Look at how prices kind of just stayed in this area, right? Never really came too much lower than here, right? Right in here. It's like the lowest is, I mean, of course, these are lows as well, and these are lows. But I'm saying, if you look at the bulk of this consolidation, this kind of prices going up, coming down, going up, it's still going up. But as you can see, it came down. So if you just take a big box and draw around this, you can look at this as like a nice, somewhat of a sideways move, right? Even though price is going up, coming down, going up, but it's still like a sideways move when you're looking at it from the bigger picture, right? So to me, I'm looking at it like, okay, it's a lot of liquidity here. So as I stated earlier, when we first jumped on the call, I was expecting price to come down and then go up, but it's continuing on up. Of course, we can't predict that, but that's what I was seeing. Why? Because of all of this liquidity, because NQ loves to sweep liquidity. That's just a characteristic of NQ. Like I said, does it do it every day? Of course it doesn't, but it does it, I would say 85 to 95% to 90% of the time, it always sweeps liquidity. It did take the London high, but that was close. I was expecting it to come down here and come get all, because it's a lot of money down here, meaning there's a lot of stop losses for the market, right? So for the big fish, right? There's a lot of retail traders with stop losses down here. For the ones that was in overnight trading in Australia, Asia, and London session. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stop loss here. So I know that there's a lot of money here, and price would love to come down here, kill all these stop losses, take that bread, right? And then continue on in the direction that it's going. That's one huge characteristic of NQ. So that's one of my biases. I am going to have a video, Melanie, like I said, that'll kind of hit on that. But yeah, 166 a day across 10 accounts is 250. Hey, Serena. Hey, see, now we playing a numbers game. And people think you have to make a lot of money per trade to make a lot of money in trading. You don't. If you have multiple accounts, that is the reason why when I buy accounts, like when I decide that I'm going to go with a prop firm, right? Once I read all their rules and I check everything out, I'm like, okay, how can I work their rules into a strategy that's going to work for me? Because that's how I do it. I read the rules on the eval, if there's an eval, and I read the rules on the payouts. If that can work for me and I decide that I'm going to go with them, I'm maxing out. If the max is 5 accounts, whatever the max is, I'm buying that amount. I'm maxing out. I'm not buying one. I'm maxing out. That's just how I do it, right? I'm giving y'all a strategy. And then what I do is I max out and I trade those. I pass them. Now I'm in sim fundeds, right? So now I have those 5 with whatever other 5 from another prop firm company, or like for Apex, I have 20 Apex PAs. Like I max out. That's how I like to trade. Now my Apex, I trade them separately all by themselves. I don't trade them with nothing else. At least I haven't. My coach and mentor was telling me that I need to. I'll get there. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying I'll get there. But I don't know if it's for some reason with me, I just like to trade the Apex by myself, but I understand what he's saying. I get what he's saying. So the reason why I like to max out is for that reason. If you got 5, let's say you got 5 my funded futures, you have 5 take profit traders. You have 5, I don't know, Lucids or whatever it is that you like that works for you. And you're copy trading them. You make $100 in 10 accounts. You still made $1,000. $100 is really easy to get, and you ain't got to even trade minis. I trade micros. You can get $100 trading 2-3 micros real quick, and be done for the day. Take your base hit and move on. That's easy. You ain't got to hold it all the time. And a lot of reasons why I don't like to hold trades is because, like today, I didn't feel comfortable holding it because I'm like, at some point, from my bias, at some point, and from the experience of me looking at NQ gonna come down here and it's gonna come get some of this liquidity. If y'all have been watching NQ will move 600 points, 1,600 points in one day. It'll go 800 points down to 800 and recover. And it's done that in one day. Go 600-700 points down, 600-700 points up, 800 points up. Like, it's done that. As a matter of fact, it did that last week or the week before. It'll do that. And I know that. So because I know that, I'm never going to be like, oh, price is not going to come way back down here. Excuse me. Nuh-uh. Shoot. Yes, it would. And I know that it has a potential to. So that's why, another reason why I didn't hold to the daily level. And that was another reason why I was willing to take partials. And when I didn't take partials, like, you know what? I'm going to be happy with my 277, my 280, whatever. I'm happy. Give me that. I'm good. And guess what, y'all? Let me show y'all another little something. Boop, boop, boop. Logged out of them accounts. My chart's going to stay up, but I'm logged out. That's another strategy, right? That strategy is what? So we don't see something and be like, oh, the candle's going up. Let me jump in. Nah, because by the time it take you to hit that trade button, sign back in and do all of that, hopefully that deters you. Your psychology kicks in and tells you, your discipline, your patience, your risk management, all that kicks in and be like, what are you doing? You don't just jump in a candle because you see something that looks pretty. That ain't a strategy. That ain't a setup. What are you doing? That's the reason why I do that. Because you know what I used to do before? Before I got to where I am now? I'll see some candle movements and be like, oh, let me jump in. Jump in, catch the bottom of that or the top of that move and be stuck with all of that. I would jump in on a moving candle because it's just going up or down. And I'm telling you, it seemed like every time I jump in is when it starts to pull back. Now I'm automatically in drawdown. Now I'm like asking myself, why'd you do that? Like, why? Like, why did you do that? So that's the reason why I always encourage, go down there, you got your bread, log out. Remember, one and done. We ain't giving no bread back. I don't need to go make more money. I don't need it to be 500. I don't need to be 400. I don't need to be 1,000. I am cool where I am at. I got my nice little base hit. I'm happy there. And that's what I'm trying to teach. We ain't got to get big moves. Take them base hits. Take them base hits. Get your base hit, log out. Now, let's look at something, y'all. Y'all remember, I missed my partials, right? So then I decided to log out because I missed it. That was like right around in this area here. So it went back up. Wait, no, I'm sorry. That was in this area right here. I actually logged out on this candle when I closed my trade. It went up, wicked into my forward contracts. I would have trimmed my position. I probably would have had like 400 and something. All good. No big deal. But look at what price is doing now. Just imagine if I held and not been disciplined and not understand how NQ moves and not understand its characteristics. Where would I be now? In drawdown. Because if you remember, my entry was here, where my dotted line is. So I'm in drawdown because I'm thinking that I'm going to hold. That's why I like to make those kinds of decisions. That's why it's okay to take base hits. You know what I mean? That's why it's good. It's definitely good to do that. Because I'd have been up, I think the most that is probably like about $400 up here, maybe about close to 460, 480, something like that. Because I know when it hit here, it was like 450. So I'm thinking about 460, 470, 480, right? So I'm holding like, nah, man, take that bread. Take that bread. Take that bread. We're not trying to hit a home run every time we get up to plate. Base hit. We just want to get on base. We're gonna hit a home run. It's gonna come. Them home runs gonna come. But the ideology is to sit down and understand what I'm gonna take my. I'm here. I'm gonna be disciplined. I'm gonna take my base hit. I'm gonna be happy with whatever I got. Who was it? Without Prejudice said it very well. Any amount of money is enough. I haven't forgot that. He said that last week. Any amount of money is enough. Shout out to Without Prejudice. Because that's real. Any amount of money is enough. We just get this thing in our brain that, oh, I got to make 1,000. No, you don't. Just got to get a base hit. Ask Serena. She'll tell you. She in the chat. Ask her. Base hits, she eat off them base hits. You'll know when to hold. If I was in a sell, I would have held to this pink. I would have held a sell. Why? Because I know there's a lot of liquidity in this area. So I would have held a sell in today's session. Yeah, I would have held that because I know there's a lot of liquidity here. See, I got in the buy. I got in the buy because my strategy set up, right? And it was high probability. It was a good setup. Did I think price is going to get all the way up here? I know it can, but I didn't really think it was because we had so much sell side liquidity. And I know NQ about to come get some of this at some point, whether it's now, later on it's going to come get some of this. At least that's my mind. That's my thinking, right? So I got to factor that into. I could be 1,000% incorrect, but we have to have some kind of understanding of what the ticker or the symbol you trade is going to do. That's why I always encourage what? Learn it. Like your guy or your girl, learn it. I sound like a broken record. Learn it. That's why it's important to learn it. So look at now. Now, like I said, my entry was up here. Now I'm in drawdown. And as you can see, we've already had what? A break of structure, right? Because price came down and broke this previous swing low. So now we have a break of structure. Once we break this, if price comes and breaks this, now we have a change of character, which now means what? We can say that the change of character is what? Meaning the character now is we have a buy character, right? This break of structure is the first sign to tell us that we're still bullish, but it's a possibility that we could be bearish. This is a break of structure. That's why you have to understand candles. Right here, break of structure, BOS. It breaks this right in here. I would have to say this one because these are so close. But even this one, I would still say, even with here, for sure, change of character. Down here, definitely a change of character. Now we know what? We've had a shift, and it's what? Look what NQ doing. Telling you, it's coming to get some of that liquidity. Now, had I not been happy with my base hit, think about how much in drawdown I would be. Look at price. Gave us a break of structure, forming a sell side fair value gap, which indicates what? Look at all these fair value gaps right here, which indicates what? Looks like we might be, trend is starting to change. The trend is possibly changing. Looks like we might be going into the sell that I was talking about we were going to have earlier. It just came afterwards. It could still go up, but I'm just saying, that's why I do what I do. It's just based off characteristics. And I like to just do everything safe, period. So, yeah, so with all of that said, let's get into tip of the day. So, and we're going to jump back on the charts because something I want to talk about with those. So tip of the day, like I always tell you guys, the whole idea is to bring value and to get our trading psychology, keep our trading psychology intact. That's what this is all about. Without our trading psychology, we're nothing. So tip of the day today is stop trading when your discipline drops. Just read that. Stop trading when your discipline drops. Think about what I'm saying. Stop trading when your discipline drops. When you know your discipline is not there, is faltering, you feeling like you lost a trade and you feel like you may be possibly, hypothetically speaking, you may be revenge trading or chasing losses, your discipline is dropped. That's when you stop trading. You have to identify this. Think about this. Knowing when not to trade is a professional skill. Knowing when not to trade is a professional skill. You have to know this. You have to understand that. That's the only thing that's going to help you. You have to remember, we have to be what? We have to be professional decision makers. If you guys notice, my question of the day and my tip of the day, they almost like marry each other. And I do that on purpose because I am trying to make sure that we are in here and we are peaking this. Because something that I want to say, since we're talking about this discipline. Think about our mind, right? It's the only way that we're going to get our trading psychology intact. And for those of you that got the couple of books that I told y'all about, if you weren't here on that day, no biggie. Just go into my description. I don't think it's in the description of one of my lives. Go to the description of one of my videos, and you'll see I have some books. It's one called Best Loser Wins. That's the best book that I've ever read for trading because it's all about psychology. The Best Loser Wins. Just think of the title. The title is powerful. The Best Loser Wins. So just please read that book because this is what we're going to be tapping into. What I'm going to be talking about is in the book. So let's think about this, right? Let's think about our mind, right? I'm going to tell you why I've reading that book and trading for 2 years is something that I got a chance to, I figured something out. Seriously, I figured something out, y'all, and I'm going to share this with y'all. I shared it with my team last Friday after the live stream. And Jay Royal, he can attest to this. So check this out, is what I figured out. The reason why trading can be very difficult from a psychology perspective is because of this main reason. Our brains are designed to do what? Keep us safe. Let me explain. When we are, let's say you're hiking, right? You're at the edge of walking to the edge of a cliff. Don't you get that little weird feel in your body, right? Like you get this weird little feeling. That's your body telling you what? Yo, bro, you too close. Back up. Like something bad could happen, right? Fear, right? Fear comes over us, those feelings, those emotions. That's our brain keeping us safe. That's what it's designed to do. Your stomach gets that little feeling. Exactly. Like all of those little things. You're climbing a ladder and you like, man, I'm scared of heights. You know, that's your brain keeping you safe. That it's what it's designed to do. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. We all know that. All right? Now check this out. You know what the problem is with that? In trading, that don't work. Our brain keeping us safe in trading, it don't work. It doesn't work. That's why the best loser wins. And you got to read the book. But let me finish. It don't work because in trading, we have to have a whole different kind of psychology perspective. So think about it. When your brain is trying to keep you safe, because it doesn't work in trading, we have to have a whole different set of psychological, We have to have a whole different set of psychological rules that we use in trading that are totally different and totally opposite of what we do mentally in the real world. Got an alarm going off in my ear. Let me see what this alarm is. Oh, got it. Like I said, in the real world that works, but in trading it doesn't work. So we have to have a whole different set of psychological ideologies when we're trading. That mind keeping us safe don't work because our subconscious mind will mess with us in trading. That's why the psychology part is always the hardest part to get in trading, is because our minds are wired to keep us safe. And like I said, that's okay. That's what it's supposed to do. But in trading, it does not work. It just doesn't work. And like I said, that's why the best loser wins. And you have to read that book. It's very important that you guys go and read the book. It's only like $20. You can even get it on Kindle if you don't even want to buy the book. You can get it audio. But man, read that book. If you want to elevate your trading game and you want to become a trade genius, read that book. I don't make no money off the book. I didn't write the book. I don't know the guy. I read the book, and I'm telling you, Jay Royal read the book. He can tell you too. Like, it's a darn good book. There's no strategies in there. It's all psychology. Read that book. So when you understand that our brains are taught to keep us safe, and you understand how that does not work in trading, you're going to really, really be on top of making sure that you're keeping your psychology intact. Because trading psychology is very, very important. And that's the part that it takes so hard. It takes so long, and it's so hard to gain. And I'm speaking from experience. Like, even now today, like, there's still, psychology things that I could, be better at. I'm a lot better than I was, when I first started, totally better, but there are still some things that I can get better at. You know what I'm saying? She said, what book? No, sis, it's not Candlestick Bible. It's not the Candlestick Bible. Let me start there. It's The Best Loser Wins. Where's my book? She said, oh, Lord. Let me grab my book. Right here. Uh-oh. Oh, my little bookmark came out. It was right at the end when I finished. I don't make it go anywhere. It don't matter. I finished the book anyway. Boom, sis. Best Loser Wins. Why normal thinking never wins the trading game. Going back to what I was just talking about. Normal thinking mean the way that we think. Get this book, y'all. It's, like I said, I have a link in my description. It'll just take you right to it. Just hit the link. It'll take you right to it. And just get it. You can get it however you want to get it. Like I said, Kindle, paperback. I'm not really big on, like, I don't want to read. Like, I want to, like, get off. I be on computer so much. Like, I just want to have a book. And I was reading 20 pages. It's like 240 pages, I think. 248 pages. So I was reading like 20 pages a night before bed. And then on the weekend, I would knock out more. I got it done in less than 10 days. Less than 10 days I got done. But anyway, so going back to the tip of the day, the discipline, how would I say it? I was talking about our subconscious minds. I was talking about how our mind is designed to keep us safe, but in trading, it doesn't work, right? So knowing when not to trade is a professional skill. Remember, we talked about this. So you know what? Let me do this. I'm gonna make it even super easy on y'all, because I don't even want y'all to have to go find anything. Let me go. I'm about to grab the link really. Let me go in here. I'm gonna grab the link real quick. I'm gonna go grab the link really quick. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Let me grab it for y'all right now. I don't even want y'all looking. I'm gonna make it super easy. Here it is, right here. Boom. Boom. Boom, boom. There you are. I just put the link straight to Amazon. Straight to Amazon. You ain't got to look. My bad. I don't even know why I told y'all go look. I like to just apply stuff. Yep. Yeah, right. DC. She gone. Oh, you're welcome. You already know, DC. I put that Candlestick Bible in there. She gonna shut the whole live stream down. Everything just gonna go black. So everything gonna just be cut off, for real. But yes, the survival instinct is anesthetically and counterintuitive to trading mindset. Absolutely, Karate 357. He gets it. He understands it. Yeah. And you know what? That doesn't There's nothing wrong with our survival instinct. We have to have that. We have to have it. But just remember, once we get in front of trading charts, that got to go away. We have to get a whole different way of we have to, we have to implement a whole different psychology strategy. And that's the part that, that makes it a little bit difficult. That's the part that makes it a little bit difficult. So that's why the trading psychology part is so hard to get, because we're fighting with that. And some of us don't even understand why it's so tough. That's the reason, is because of that. So I said that just to make sure that I bring that to the light, to understand, like, hey, some of the issues that we have with our psychology has a lot to do with the way that we're wired. We're all wired to be, to have that survival instinct in us. And Karate 357, great point. So let's go back to this. Let's go back to this tip of the day. So remember, knowing when not to trade is a professional skill. If your discipline drops, stop trading. You have to understand that. You got to learn. You got to learn some things about yourself too. You got to learn some things about yourself. You got to remember, discipline is your most valuable asset in trading. Now, I just want to show y'all this. Hold that thought. Look, my stop loss was here. So had I held that trade and didn't understand that taking base hits is very important, guess what would have happened? All that little money that I could have had, because I want to hold it, because I'm trying to hit this home run, I would have got stopped out right here. And y'all would have seen that, dang, he was up like 400 something bucks. Now nothing. Exactly. Because when I looked at it, I was up 400. It was like 452 bucks, 456. And I didn't set my partials, my TP take my partials. So I said it, yeah, it did hit it, but I wanted to err on the side of caution because I saw this hit up here twice. Hit, came down, hit, and I'm like, usually when NQ does that, it's possibly gonna start making the move down. And I know there's also all this liquidity down here. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take my 280. And after my fees is 270, 750, and I'm cool. And guess what? I would only have to say that you guys would agree with me that you made a right decision by just taking that base hit. Because if not, you would have left with nothing. Exactly. That's why base hits are amazing. So I just wanted to say that. Look what it did. It would have hit my stop loss. So now we'll go back to finish up what we were initially talking about. I just wanted to share that with y'all. So discipline is your most valuable asset, your most valuable trading asset, discipline. Because discipline supersedes everything. If you're disciplined, you're exercising. Like, if you look at discipline as like the pot, and then you got risk management, FOMO, not chasing trades, leverage, understanding, like everything else is in that pot. Discipline is your pot, and then everything else is in that pot. Discipline is everything. If you're exercising good discipline, a whole bunch of stuff is just going to domino effect and just follow that into a positive area. If you're exercising discipline, you're on the way to where we're to that island that we're trying to get to. Just keep that in mind. When you're disciplined, when you think about it, when our discipline drops, what starts happening? We start making mistakes. Mistakes start increasing quickly. Like, that's just how it is. That's what I just did on my trade. I was like, you know what? Let me follow my disciplines. My disciplines was what? Take this base hit, bro. Don't hold that. You already missed taking your partials. This is me in my mind. You already missed taking your partials. That's okay. No big deal. Just take the base hit, bro. Get up out of there with your base hit. That's what I did. That's discipline. Once again, professional decision maker. Professional decision maker. That's what we are. Professional decision maker. I had to make a decision. And that was a decision that I made. And I'm glad that I made that decision and I stood on my discipline. Because had I not, y'all already know I would have lost the trade and I'd have been down. Instead of taking what the market gave me, because the market did give me something, they're taking what the market gave me, I would have been down, I don't know. I don't even know what that, I have to go do the math. I'm sure it was $500, $600, $700 in 10 accounts. Now I'm down 7 bands. Not a good look. But anyway, so going back to what I was stating, your discipline drops, mistakes start to increase. So you have to understand that. And I'm going to give you signs of when your discipline is dropping. Entering trades without confirmation, moving your stop loss, increasing your position size emotionally, meaning, oh, I think it's going to go. That's emotions. I think it's going to move. I'm going to move. You're not following your strategy, or you're moving your stop loss. Like, I'm going to move my stop loss out the way so price don't take me out. Like, no, that's not how you're supposed to do that. Yeah, I would have lost 885. Thanks, Serena. Exactly. I'd have been down 8,800. Even though it's in one account, I still look at it the same way. If I'm down, I count all the accounts. I add up all the amounts in the accounts. If I'm up, I add up all the amounts. Individually, we know what those are. But still, that's how I look at it, because I'm playing with my psychology as well. Revenge trading after a loss. That's how you know when your discipline is slipping, right? Stepping away. Your discipline drops, just step away. You have to tell yourself, you know what? I'm about to log out. I'm not about to do this to myself or my accounts. Because when you're building on your discipline, if you do that, when you break your discipline, it's like you start all the way back over again from square one. Meaning all the work that you put in, you just killed it on that one day, literally. So that's why it's very, very important to stay on top of your discipline. You want to keep building. You want to keep building. Start the foundation, keep building on the foundation. Don't have any setbacks, because then you got to start all over again. You got to do what? You got to redirect. You got to redirect your discipline. You got to tell yourself, okay, you got to start all over again. So just remember that. And stepping away does what? Main important thing, it protects your capital and your mindset, just like what I stated. You don't want to start all over again from the mindset perspective. And on top of that, we don't want to have our accounts in jeopardy, right? We don't want our accounts low when they don't need to be. Like, I didn't need to hold that trade. I don't care if it went up and hit the day level above, and I would have made more money than I initially did. I don't care about that. I took the base hit. I did what was safe. I did what made sense. I followed my discipline. You'll know the times. Absolutely. Absolutely. What'd you say? I secured my base hit, bro, even though I could have made 9K. Hey, it happens. But guess what? There's going to be time where we're going to be able to make that 9K. There's going to be time where we're going to be able to hold that trade. I don't think today was the day based on what I was saying on the charts. And every trade I go into, I only go into it with one thing, making sure that the setup is there, it's high probable, and set my entry, my stop loss, and my take profit. And as the trade is moving based on my bias, I may change some things up. I may not hold it. I may just take a portion of that. I just feel comfortable with that. I'm not in my head on it. No. My decision to do that was because, like I told y'all, we had a lot of sell side liquidity. That was the thing that I kept in my brain to understand. Hey, bro, NQ likes to come down here and to get this liquidity. And NQ can move and do that and even still go back to the upside. I don't want to get caught in that. Let me just take my base hit. I'm happy with that. And my account still live. I made some bread. I'm good. No harm, no foul. So remember, what are we trying to do here? We're trying to model this behavior, right? We're trying to model this mental behavior, this discipline, all these things that I just got done talking about, these questions of the day that I go through every day with you guys, these tips of the day. All I'm trying to help you guys do, as well as myself, because like I say, when I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to myself too. We're trying to model this behavior every day that we sit down. That's why I'm doing this every day. That's why I'm here every day. We got to model this every day. Every day we tapping into our psychology every day. We're going to beat this into our head until we get it down to where we can look back and be like, man, it's been 6 months. It's been 4 months. It's been 9 months. It's been a year. It's been whatever, a good amount of time where you can honestly look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what? I haven't broke no rules. I've sat on my hands when I needed to sat hands. I've only taken my setups when they showed up. I haven't FOMO'd in. I ain't chasing losses. I haven't how would you say, I haven't like revenge traded, like none of them bad habits. That's what we're working on. That's what this is about. And that's what's so important with these questions and these tips of the day. That's why I do these segments, man, because I understand like we have to get that down. You know what I mean? And you have to remember when the market is choppy, our emotional pressure rises, right? And let me explain. Because it's choppy, right? It's just moving sideways. We not really can't get nothing out of it. We can't, our setup ain't showed up because it's choppy, right? So emotional pressure rises, meaning like we're itching to want to get in a trade. We want to place a trade. We want to get in. We want to make some bread. Cool. But once again, what do we have to be? Professional decision maker. We also have to understand when to not trade is also a professional skill, right? It's like all these professional things that we have to keep in mind. And the main important thing is we have to remember what? Trading is our business. We have to treat trading as your business. Have to. It's your business. Remember that. That's first. And then all these things line up under that. But always remember when you sit down, you're sitting down on these charts. I don't care where you trade. You're sitting down and you are at work. You handling business. Remember that. And you always want to bring that professional acumen with you when you sit down on the charts. Why? That's going to help you with all the things that we just got done talking about. That's what's important. That's what's important. When the market is choppy, going back to what I'm saying, and your emotional pressure rises, that's a moment where your discipline matters more than your trading. Think about what I said. When price action is choppy and you don't see your setups and your emotional pressure is rising because you want to get in a trade, you're like, man, ain't no trades. I want to get this and that, and this. That is the moment when your discipline matters more than trading. Remember that. Remember that. Just keep that in mind. It's very important that we keep that in mind. And this is another thing too, you got to ask yourself, would you stop trading now if your discipline started slipping? You have to ask yourself that question, and the answer better be yeah. I'm going to be forceful on that one. The answer better be yeah. I feel my discipline slipping. I'm about to get up and walk away. Or I got a better one for you. If you really got that itch that you want to scratch, log out of your account, log out of your main account, whether it's a prop firm or your live, log into your demo account and go crazy on that. If you just got a itch you need to scratch, demo trade. Like use this tool to your advantage. You kept your account safe, you scratched your itch, you didn't do nothing silly, and if you did it demo trading to where you can at least still check yourself without losing any money. You're gonna be like, you know what? I wouldn't have done that in a live environment, or I know I'm not supposed to do that. I'm glad I'm on my demo account. Exactly. That's what it's there for. I'm just giving you all of these different tools and scenarios to do what? Keep your psychology and your discipline on track. Because once we lose our discipline, we about to lose our accounts. So I just want to keep that in mind. So remember, if your discipline drops, stop trading. Like respect yourself, respect your accounts. You know what I mean? Straight up, I just switched to demo. That's what I'm talking about. Like seriously. If you don't see nothing and you just feel like there's no more setups for me today, I'm done. There's no more setups for me today. Let's say I didn't take a trade. There's still no more setups for me today. There's nothing else setting up. If I really need to scratch the itch, I'm about to demo trade. But that part, you know what? I've overcame that part. I can honestly say I've really got good at, like, when there's nothing, I just shut it down. I'm good. I've overcame that. It took me a while. Probably over, I would say maybe close to a year to overcome that, to where I can honestly say, you know what? If ain't nothing there, I'm good. Like, I ain't tripping. I'm good. I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm good with that now. So I don't have to do, but I'm sharing that with y'all because I used to have to do that. So yeah, so just remember that, you guys. That's just, I always want to just make sure that we are keeping our psychology intact. That's what's important. That's what's important. Let me see it. Let me go through and read some of these, make sure I didn't miss anything. Um, what's a tat on your arm? LOL, looks dope. Oh, I don't know which one. Oh, I got that's like a wing. I got my son's name in Arabic, taking him under my wing type situation. I got a bunch of tats. They're all stories behind these tats, man. I'll just say this. When I lost my mother, I had like one tat on my arm. When I lost my mom, I got all these. And I can say that I was dealing with her pain through the pain of the tat. Crazy, right? But if you look at my arms, as you see me move my arms, you'll see wherever I got one in one spot, I have one in another spot. So when I was getting a tattoo on one area, that day I got it in the same area on the other arm on the same day. So I was getting 2 tats in one day. And I got like all my arms done, my chest, got some pieces I'm working on my back. But through her pain is how I was dealing with the pain. The pain from the tattoo gun's how I was dealing with my mother's pain. Yeah. Crazy. But anyway, would say you build different train. Yeah, bro. I would have to agree to that. And that's not even tooting my own horn. I have come to understand I am definitely built different. Built different. Built different. Life has pushed and pulled me in a lot of different directions, but I'm glad of what is done to me, and the person that I became. And shout out to my grandparents. And let me say this, y'all hear me talking about my grandparents. My parents were around. I'm from the South. If anybody from the South, you know, you pretty much get raised by your grandparents. Doesn't mean your parents ain't around. My parents were around, both of them. But in the South, just by default, you get raised by your grandparents. At least that's how it's always been. Not just me, all my cousins too. We all would be by my grandma's house. Grandmother and my grandfather had all their grandchildren. It's just what it is in the South. Anyone here from the South, they understand that. But yeah, bro, definitely. I love that shut it down gif that you'll be put. Oh yeah, you know what? I got something for you tomorrow, Serena. That's all I'm gonna say. I got something for you tomorrow, Serena. You just made me think about something. Absolutely. Gotta bring that to the live stream. Gotta bring that to the live stream. It's coming. I'm gonna say that. Tomorrow we're gonna be on something. What'd you say? Demo is the best as someone getting into trading. I get to learn from my mistakes without losing real money. Absolutely, man. Look, I didn't go live until I had doubled the amount in my demo account. I started at 50, and when I got to 100K, I was like, okay, cool. The funny thing is I was already demo trading in the 2 options communities that I were into before I got into the inner circle, in the futures community. So I was already kind of used to demo trading. So for me, it was like no big deal because I was demo trading over there. Like they were doing their options call outs, and I was demo trading their call outs. Actually, I never made any money in options. I had put like it was like 1,500 into an account, into a Charles Schwab account, because you know that in options there's no prop firms or nothing like that. Like you're truly trading your own capital. And I never actually did anything. Actually, the money is still sitting there right now. It's still $1,500 in there right now. But yeah, I was demo trading. So to come into this, it just made it easier to demo trade. So there it was. Regarding the no drawdown rule on the new TF accounts, we said I had 2 previous accounts. If I purchase another, would the no drawdown rule apply to me being at? No. It only applies to accounts that are purchased between the 17th and the 31st. Nothing prior to that. It only applies to those accounts. Because remember, and this for all prop firms, whenever you buy an account, that account is individual of all the other accounts as far as the rules are concerned. They're all different. Now, I'm not saying that they don't fall under the same guidelines of rules, but I'm saying, let's say you buy, I'll use Lucid for an example. Even My Fund of Futures has this too. They have like flex accounts, pro accounts, and some other name, right? If you go read the rules, all the rules are different on those. So just always look at it from the perspective of whenever you buy an account, it's its own thing. It's its own thing. Now, if you buy 2 Lucid Pro accounts, then of course those 2 will have the same rules. But if you buy a Lucid Flex, that's going to have different rules from those. But just keep in mind that every account is separate of itself. Even though that you're the one buying them and you have other accounts, just always keep that in mind when you're buying any accounts. So to answer your question, as I stated, Mike, yeah, it's only through the 17th from tomorrow to the 31st for those 4 days or 5 days, 4 days, whatever. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, if y'all haven't, man, let me get some of them free likes. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you need to talk to me, you can DM me on TEF Discord or the Inner Circle Discord, or you can also send me an email. Just give me an opportunity to get back to you. I will get back to you because I always have a lot of messages and I like to get back to those. But yeah, so as I stated, man, shoot me them free likes. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Other than that, what's my short target? My short target would have been 24,665 if that setup had, if the setup showed itself. But I'm done for the day. But that would have been my target for the short setup on MNQ. Yeah, it would have been 24,565. Yeah, 20, which is my daily level. So I have a pink line there. But yeah, y'all have anything for me? Anything for me? Anything I miss? Any questions I miss? Something y'all want to ask me? I'm scrolling through. Guess what? Go look at Forex Factory right now. Oh, Lord. We all going to go do this together. We're going to do this together. We're going to look at Forex Factory right now. Oh, goodness. What didn't happen? Let me refresh. Trump going to be speaking. Did I miss some? You're welcome, Mike. No problem. Let me see. Well, we're Tuesday. Pending wholesale 7. Missing something. Tell me, J. Roy, what am I missing? Do I think it'll still run? Uh-oh. Oh, I'm on the wrong day. That's why I missed it. Look at this, y'all. Oh, Trump speaking in 17 minutes, everybody. Trump speaking in 17 minutes. I'm gonna put the rally hat on for that. Trump speaking in 17 minutes. I would advise no one be in a trade. Nobody take no trade. Yep, good point, J. Royal. This shows how unpredictable the market could be. No one, do not take any trades at this point. Oh, anytime, DC. I appreciate y'all for being here, man. Absolutely. I got to put the rally hat on. I like to wear my hats backwards. I like to put the rally hat on. Anytime, Karate 357, bro. You know that's what I'm here for, my brother. Just remember, y'all, Trump is speaking at 8:30. Y'all got anything for me, though? Thank you, J. Roy Serena, for bringing that to my attention. I was on Tuesday. I don't know why I was down here looking. Today is Monday. But yeah, very, very crucial. And you know what's so crazy? Y'all know we went through news. This was not on the chart. Y'all know this was not on the calendar. So once again, J. Roy made a good point. Show you how unpredictable the market can be. That's why we always got to keep our head on swivel, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, but with that said, I appreciate y'all tapping in with me on this Monday. Please, 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 please do not get in any trades. We have Trump speaking. You already know that can be some wild stuff. So with that stated, let's keep our accounts safe. Let's keep our accounts safe and err on the side of caution. Good Monday today. Made a little bit of bread for anybody that made some money. I'm glad you made some money. And please log off. Watch the charts. Good to watch the charts to correspond what he's talking about to how that's moving the market and journal that. because the words that he states that moves the market in either direction, that's just something good to take a note of, because you kind of start learning these little key words or these signal words that are moving the market. And that could be for the next administration, right? Because he ain't going to be here forever. So there will be another administration. So with that said, just keep that in mind. But yeah, man, I'm glad we were able to tap in today. I appreciate all of y'all once again. If y'all are looking to get any, when you go to get your accounts for TEF tomorrow with the new accounts, absolutely. Oh, you're welcome, Bodovan. You're welcome, Sports Life. Anytime, I'm here for y'all. Y'all already know that. We're here for each other. Use my code at the bottom down there, that Trend TEF. Other than that, man, y'all have a blessed remainder of y'all day. Please pay attention. We got Trump speaking in 14 minutes. Let's all keep our charts up. Accounts closed, charts up, and let's, pay attention to, what's going on. Let's make sure we all tapped into this and keep an account and journal it. It's good to just write it down and have that documentation of what happens when every time, he speaks. So with that said, like I said, thank y'all. Shout out to our co-founders, Juvier, our Scalp God. Love y'all. It's my brothers. Without them, we wouldn't be here. And y'all have a blessed remainder of y'all day. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Same time, same Trade Genius channel. Thank y'all. Love y'all.